Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Mini 3 with me today. It's the 27th of December, a couple days after Christmas. I should be in Newberg, Oregon right now, flying this little drone around the vineyards, etc., and getting you some different footage. However, Alaska Airlines, yeah, we had a few issues there. I'll tell you a little bit of that story here in a second. However, I haven't flown in a while, and we got an extraordinarily warm day today. It's nearly 50 degrees. I think it's like 48 degrees, something like that out. A little bit of wind. We just had a storm blow through that was all rain. It's melted off, 99% of the snow. You'll see some clumps of snow and so forth. But I'm out at Kleiner Park, and I just had to fly. Haven't flown in a while, so had to get a drone up in the air, and I checked my batteries. I got about 3/4 of a battery on the Mini 3 Pro. So let's quit messing around. Let's put this drone in the air and we'll just try out some master shots and some different things. This is just a flight for fun. So yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. Okay, it took me a minute to get everything going here. The issue, it was not logged in, so I wasn't logged in. It was giving me a remote ID error. I couldn't get it to log on to Wi-Fi for some reason. It said it remembered my Wi-Fi network. I've got it hotspotted to my iPhone. I don't know what was going on there. It was really odd. The date was off in the controller, etc. I don't know if that was from the last firmware update or not, but I spent a couple minutes getting things going here, which is not the usual that you expect from DJI. But anyway, I'm going to start recording now, and you can see from the screen recording, it's a blue sky. We're going to shoot in 4K 30 frames per second. We've started recording. Let's do an automated takeoff, and let's see if it does that that thing where it shuts off Wi-Fi once we take off. We're going to do on the screen right now, holding the button down. And there goes the little drone. And yeah, it disabled Wi-Fi. Yeah, and it says we're in an altitude zone. We know that. We're not going to go over 150 meters high. Let me move the drone forward here. I was kind of in the airstream of the drone. I am going to turn the camera around here so that you can see us do our droney, because I want to do have the drones back to the sun when we do our droney here. So let me bring it down and bring it in here a little bit. And yeah, let's see. I have got, let's see, I'm just looking here, and we've got obstacle avoidance off. So let's turn that back on, maybe. This is odd. I'm getting some odd things. So we're going to put it in bypass. So obstacle avoidance is on, and it's squawking at me right now. And I had looked at this earlier. I must not have looked clear up that high. Compass is normal. IMU is normal. Everything looks to be okay. I am going to go ahead and enable Wi-Fi again. Turning Wi-Fi on. Let's see if it connects. And see, yeah, there it finally connected. So it connected to my iPhone, so we're good there. And yeah, sorry about all this messing around, guys. Let's drop that camera down just a little bit, and we'll do our droney. Reverse and up now, reverse and up. And I'm hitting hard on that up stick, trying to get above the trees here. And we are kind of successfully above the trees. There you go. So you can see where I'm at here. I'm going to move it sideways, and we are in normal mode. Let's bring it forward. We'll kind of do just a little bit of an overflight here of where I'm sitting, and you can see just yesterday this would have all been slush and snow, and it warmed up yesterday into the high 30s, but today I'm telling you, I'm in the sunshine. It feels like it's nearly 50 degrees. So anyway, we're going to fly over the top, and then we'll head out over here and just go on a little kind of a scenic little flight. kind of show you the park now that the snow's gone. And I just did a couple laps around the trails here, getting some walking in. Kind of nice to be able to walk outside without being so bundled up. So yeah, and here's the pond. You can still see a lot of ice on the pond, and we're just above the limbs on that tree right there, shooting straight into the sun. That the winter sun is pretty darn low in the sky. We can get down lower here as we get over the pond, and we typically there's a bunch of seagulls that are kind of resting on the ice here. Let's do my usual see if I can do a manual orbit around the fountain here. And I'm kind of moving in on the fountain as I do the orbit, speeding it up just a little bit. In normal mode, it can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes. This is pretty easy to do when you're in Cine mode, but in normal mode, it can be a bit of a challenge. So those must be ducks down there. I can't tell for sure looking on this little FPV screen. Okay, let's pick the drone back up. Let's not tempt fate and fly into a duck. So picking that camera back up, and let's head back over towards the, and we're not going to go over the top of those people there, but there is one of the sculptures in the park. And now it's wanting me to install firmware, and it took me, you guys can see, it took me back to the main screen. This is really, really odd. So we're going to click back on Go Fly. And I have got, yeah, there we go. We got our screen back. I don't know, guys. This is really odd. And I don't know if that was a prompt because I have, because I'm on Wi-Fi, you know, I've got it connected Wi-Fi. I don't know. Strange doings with the Mini 3 Pro today. You usually don't see these kind of issues with DJI. And I don't know if those people are getting ready to play. It looks like they are. They're going to play a little pickleball, aren't they? Yeah. I'm kind of doing a manual orbit around them here. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's wet, but it's warm, so you might as well. Let's see if we can kind of zoom in a little bit here. Let me, I forgot on this controller I have the zoom on right on the left side, or excuse me, the right side, the right scroll wheel. So let's see if we can catch a little. Yeah, okay, come on. Yeah, you can serve anytime now. You know, we're not just hovering here just for no action. Come on, guys, serve the ball. Yeah, I don't think they're too sure. Is he going to serve? Yeah, there we go. Now we're seeing some action. Yeah, lobbing it over. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's how exciting pickleball is. I hope you guys got a kick out of that. I thought it was kind of funny. Okay, let's take a look at the Boise front here. This, you know, the clouds today make for kind of a nice. I'm going to pick the camera up. And let's zoom in on the Boise Mountains there, see if you guys can take a look. That's Bogus Basin Ski Resort up there on the top. I am sure they are super busy today. So zoom back out, drop that camera back down, and let's go out. Let's work the other way here. Since it's warmed up, a lot more folks out in the park. By the way, I'm going to back up here for a second. I want to show you this little hill right here. You're seeing these marks on the hill. This is the perfect kind of sledding hill in the wintertime. And just to cut, you know, this was covered in snow yesterday and even more so the day before. So you can kind of, kids come up here and they can kind of sled down both sides of this. Kind of convenient for that. You see a lot of people out doing that. Okay, let's move on here and let's kind of get going to over the other. See what we can see on the other side of the park here. All the leaves are gone. Yeah, Nothing but naked trees, except for those evergreens. And here we go. Yeah, we got some, it looks like we got some ducks down here. Let's get down low and take a look at these guys. Give them a look. Yeah. Ducks doing what ducks do. I noticed that, are these seagulls? I can't tell on my FPV screen. I'll be able to have to look at the SD card to see. But the seagulls tend to like to rest on the ice. Often, I've noticed. There they are, right there. Okay, let's pick this guy up, and we're going to see all three sculptures today. How far are we battery-wise? Oh, we're at 50% battery, so we're in good shape. So this is another one of the sculptures. I'm going to do my favorite trick here. We're going to get right over the top of this guy. Get pretty close to the center. I'm going to put the drone in cine mode. Going the wrong way there. Trying to center it up. And back it up just a little. Okay, that's about as close as we're going to get. So I'm going to do that orbit and spin, and so that is all on the left stick. So I'm going to kind of push a diagonal on the stick, and it's going to spin and raise at the same time. And then one of my favorite tricks to do while you're doing this is then, you see the sculpture and you see the spin, and that's to slowly pick up the camera at the same time and do a reveal. And there we are, back at the park. Okay, so I'm going to put this guy into master shot mode and then kind of tell you guys what's been going on the last couple days. Our Christmas wasn't what we planned it to be. Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a disappointment. We had intended to be at my wife's sister's house for Christmas, but the airlines had other plans. So let's see, I am going to stop recording now, and I'm going to click on that little film strip, and I'm going to go into master shots. And it keeps giving this. I thought I've told that there used to be a box you could check to tell it not to do that little animation, but we're going to I'm going to try and set the top of this guy, subject lost. So what I might do is, I'll tell you what I'm going to do to make sure I hit it. Yeah, and there's some people down there, so I need to be careful about that. Well, change of plans here. We'll go on the other side. There we go. Well, they're in that corner there. And I am going to set the sculpture as the point of interest. I think it's got it, and it's given me an estimated flight time of 2 minutes. I'm going to click on that down arrow, and it's going to give me the height and the width, etc. So it's all on medium, so that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and click start and see what we get for a master shot here. So I'm clicking start, and it's counting down, and it'll do an automated flight here. And it is adjusting the aircraft's position, doing a droney first. And yeah, it looks like it's got the position right on the top of the sculpture, so we did good. But anyway, so while the drone is doing this, I'm going to tell you the story of what has transpired. So we had made, back in September, I made our flight reservations to go to Portland, Oregon, We wanted to end up in Newberg, Oregon for the holidays. My wife is a teacher. She had to work up until Thursday, so our plan then was to fly out on Christmas Eve on the 24th with Alaska Airlines. So we got all that set up, got everything packed up, and obviously you know that there's been weather around the country and so forth. So I was continually checking with the airline to make sure our flight was on time, that everything was good. Last thing I did before we left the house on Christmas Eve to go to the airport was to check Alaska's website and to make sure that the flight was on time. Alaska's website said, good to go, your flight is on time. So we left for the airport, got through security without too much grief, looked up at the departure board at the airport, and it said flight delayed, leaving at 1 p.m. Well, you know, that's a disappointment, but you can deal with that. That was about probably, gosh, I don't know, 9 in the morning. So we had a good probably 4 hours to sit at the airport and wait for our flight. Yeah, so it completed master shots and it is returning. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to back the drone off here, pick up the camera, and we'll just head back out across the park and I'll finish the story here. So while waiting, we were, you know, as you do while you're waiting in the airport, you know, looking at your phone, trying to use up the time and keep yourself occupied, right? I decided to go for a walk up and down the concourse, get some steps in. This was probably, by this time, it was probably about 10 o'clock or maybe 10:30. As I'm walking, I looked up at the departure board and it told me that our flight was canceled. So, you know, there's a disappointment. What do? I went back, told my wife, I said, hey, the flight's canceled. And I thought about going right to the Alaska Air desk and you know, seeing how quickly we could get rebooked. But I knew better than that. I knew that we probably weren't going to get out that day. So there's no point in that. I thought, well, we'll just go home and we'll get on the 1-800 number, get rebooked. And, you know, I thought if worse come to worse, we would probably not get out until Christmas Day or something like that. Well, stuff happens, so you're kind of prepared for that. And I was happy to, yeah, I'm not happy, but I was okay with jumping through those kind of hoops. Well, got home and two things. First, tried to get on the website to rebook, and basically the website said, no, we can't rebook you, no flights available. So, okay, let's try the 800 number, the Alaska Air 800 number. Yeah, not so much. That turned out to be kind of a bust as well. And not kind of a bust, it was a bust. So once you got through all of their automated phone automation system, it told you that it was an 8-hour wait to talk to a customer service representative. And I tried that several times. I thought, you know, I'm just going to try throughout the day. You know, at some point things will loosen up. I even waited until 1 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning, and could not get through to Alaska Air. So basically, they don't have personnel or whatever it is. You know, the way I look at it, they're stonewalling their customers, essentially, right? So Christmas morning, you know, my wife was very disappointed, but I told her, I said, you know what, run me up to the airport. I'm going to stand in line at the Alaska Airlines desk and see if we can get rebooked. So after a long wait in line, I finally got to talk to an agent, and basically they said, nope, there are no flights. We can't rebook you. Sorry, you're out of luck. Well, okay. At that point, I said, okay, just how about this? How about you just refund my tickets? Oh no, we can't do that, she said. She said only the only people that are allowed to do that is Alaska Airlines customer service. And I said, well, I just told you that you can't talk to Alaska Airlines customer service because they won't answer the phone. She said, basically, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Well, you know, I mean, I knew better than to try and argue with her. I mean, you know, what the heck? If she can't do it, she can't do it. You know, what are you gonna say? So I thought, well, you know, have no fear. By this evening, I'll be able to get through to Alaska Air customer service. And no such luck. So now, you know, 2 days later, this is the 27th of December. In fact, I tried just before I left to come out to the park here. It still says an 8-hour wait. Can't get a hold of anybody at Alaska Air. Now, one of the other things is that I was going to return to Idaho before my wife, so I was planning on coming back from Portland today. So I had to make an additional reservation, and I had done that several weeks ago. So in theory, let's see, what time is it now? Yeah, I was, well, it's only about not quite 3 o'clock Mountain Time right now, but I was planning on coming back this evening. My flight, I think, was going to leave Portland at 8 o'clock. Well, I've received about 10 emails from Alaska Airlines today. Time to check in for your flight. No, I'm not going to check in for my flight because you guys never got me to Portland. So yeah, no, I'm already in Idaho. Don't need to check in for that flight. And I don't know, I probably lost that money too. So anyway, it's just kind of a sad story. It looks like we're going into return to home. We're just going to let it do an automated return to home here. But anyway, the problem is, one of the things they tell you is that, and I see I did not record that whole time, or did it switch, or was I recording? Did it switch to pictures? Okay, I'm recording again. So evidently we're just going to look at the screen recording for that little bit of that flight. Sorry about that. But in any case, their system is supposed to tell you, you know, when there's a change to your flight, etc. You're supposed to get an email. You know, they've got my phone number. They're supposed to text you. I've had none of that. Zero communication from Alaska Airlines. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not dumb enough to tell you that I'll never fly Alaska again because living in Idaho, there's very little choice. If you're going to get to the Northwest, you're going to fly on Alaska Airlines. So I probably will, but sure is a disappointment. I wrote their customer service a letter. Haven't heard back anything on that. They say they get back to you within hours. Nope, that was, I don't know, early yesterday I wrote that letter. Haven't heard anything from them. So anyway, nothing but a disappointment. Just the way it goes. But you can't let it ruin your Christmas, and I'm sure not letting it ruin today. It is not going to hit the pad here. It's going to be pretty close. We're going to cancel that landing, and we're going to back this guy up. Yeah, it's really wanting to come down. It's really squawking at me here. Let's bring it down here. Get it over a little bit. And we're in Scenic mode, so this should be a little easier. Get it right over the pad here, and let's see if we can drop it straight down. Keeps moving off is the problem. Let's back it up a little. See if we can bring it down here. There we go. We got it on the pad. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Hey guys, the little DJI Mini 3 Pro. I just love this technology. Had some kind of weird things when on this flight, getting it going. You know, I had to log back into DJI's system, which is weird, not re-register, but log in, which I don't know what happened there. It didn't want to connect to my Wi-Fi, my hotspot on my phone. When I went and looked in settings, it said, yeah, it's got it memorized. Anyway, I had to go back in, had to re-enter the password and all that. So, I don't know, kind of an odd situation. And then my settings were off. When I went into the settings, the date was off on the RC. It was just strange. And then we went out on the flight. You saw where it reverted back to the main starter screen, when we're in the middle of a flight. And it told us we had a firmware update. That's odd. So I don't know what's going on there. Very un-DJI-like, strange. But when I get home, I will update the firmware on this guy. As far as my little Christmas travel tale of woe, hey, listen, I'm counting my blessings. I know, hey, there's people that were stuck in airports, far from home, etc., spending their Christmas laying on the floor in an airport someplace, and at least we were able to go home and have a Christmas at home. So yeah, no worries there. But it's just kind of strange how customer service in our country seems to be a thing of the past, which kind of makes me sad. But anyway, that's about it. I hope everybody had a great holiday, and at the end of the day, we sure did. So no worries there. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.